Hello, everyone. I am going live. I'm going to be watching, I am currently watching, and I've been watching for over an hour. uh, Turtleboy's live tonight. He does a live every Saturday, and almost every Saturday I watch. I got a new camera that I wanted to try out a couple things, and I'm using StreamYard instead of OBS. Why? I don't know. I'm just trying out different things and seeing what different things will work. So that's what we're doing. And I'm crocheting feverishly, trying to finish a Christmas present for someone in my family. So that's what we're doing. And it's gigantic. It's a sweater. I've never made a sweater before. I don't like doing big projects because I have ADHD and my brain cannot stay focused for that long. But yeah, so we're trying out a lot of new things today and watching Turtleboy. So that's what's going on. Enjoy.
Why did she do this? Any certificates?
Yes, it's covered in the basic crash investigation classes.
You took your
Multiple classes.
multiple classes.
Qualified you to perform your duties as the director for biomechanics and human factors.
Sure. Well, I got my BS in mechanical engineering with a minor in biomedical engineering from Carnegie Mellon University in 1995. I then went on to get my master's in bioengineering and biomechanical engineering from the University of Pittsburgh in 2002. And then I went to get my doctorate or my PhD in bioengineering and biomechanics from the University of Pittsburgh in 2004.
The highest degree that you do hold, sir?
I have an associate's degree.
Received a Bachelor of Science in Engineering from James Madison University, along with a minor in mathematics. Do you hold any degrees in the scientific discipline of mathematics?
I do not.
Do you hold any degrees in the scientific discipline of physics?
No. I do not.
Do you hold any degrees in the scientific discipline of biomechanics?
No.
How about in engineering?
No.
How about in kinematics?
No. I got my BS in mechanical engineering with a minor in biomedical engineering from Carnegie Mellon University. Then went on to get my master's in bioengineering and biomechanical engineering from the University of Pittsburgh in 2002. And then I went to get my doctorate or my PhD in bioengineering and biomechanics.
What is kinematics?
So kinematics is really just the motion of the human body. And it's the study of the human body, how the body moves under different circumstances, whether you're in a car that's struck from behind, what direction will your body move, slip and fall, how will your body rotate and move. It's really looking at the motion and the response of the body.
Define kinematics.
It deals with the aspect of motion.
It's a subfield of what broader field?
Kinematics?
Kinematics is a subfield of what broader discipline of science?
I'm not sure.
I'm fucking physics. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Describes how
Yes.
points and objects, systems of objects, how they move, and how the rate they move and the rate of their velocity, correct?
It deals with motions.
What's that called? The rate of velocity. What's another word for that?
The
Acceleration.
rate of velocity?
Acceleration.
I mean, it deals with motion. It deals with forward and also deals with speed. It deals with travel and speed.
What?
If something's
When
moving,
I
it's
first
also has speed
watched
to it.
this
What?
Trooper Paul thing, I couldn't believe
She's
it.
like, I
I mean,
knew that.
I
I
don't
knew
know
it.
what any of that stuff is.
Knew it.
That's not my job.
What role does stuff?
I
What
don't.
role
mean,
does acceleration play? With the
I
kinematics?
know stuff
Talks
about
like you
my
said, talks
job.
about speed and talks
I mean,
about
you
motion.
should know stuff about his job.
Deals with motion.
I just
Kinematics also
couldn't
knows the geometry.
believe this
Oh.
when
Is that correct?
I have not heard that.
Never heard that.
Never heard that.
What's the difference between constrained
when
and
that
unconstrained?
testimony was.
Oh, this is good.
Constrained and unconstrained motion.
Here we go. Here we go. Watch
I
this.
did not
Watch this.
Constrained motion.
Look at him. Look at him.
I
Look
can't
at him.
recollect at the moment.
I can't recollect.
Just the unprofessionalism is wild to me. And I was thinking about this earlier, the whole, like, they're trying to disqualify Dr. Marie Russell, the dog bite expert, for the defense. There should be some kind of rule. If you, like, qualified in court to testify as an expert about something, you shouldn't be allowed to be the one to do that testing. Because if you can't, if you're not qualified, like Trooper Paul would never be qualified in court to talk about crash evidence. Like if he was just coming in as an expert who didn't do the actual evidence in this case. So he should not have been allowed to do the evidence to begin with. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to have that job. If he's not qualified enough yeah, so you just like I know I have it muted, sorry, but like Dr. Marie Russell is literally a doctor with tons of experience and everything, but they're saying that she's not qualified. But Trooper Paul with his 4 classes at the community college, he's qualified to testify in this case. That doesn't make sense. He's not qualified for his job, let alone to testify as an expert in anything. So that's just wild. Completely wild.
All right. So we're going to start with Dr. Wolf, the crash daddy here. Because again, if John O'Keefe was not hit by a car, then there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing else matters. And the FBI hired these guys because they wanted to eliminate Karen Reed. They want to know, if we can't eliminate Karen Reed as a suspect, then we're not going to waste our time investigating this. So the ARCA guys were the first people that they hired. And they've paid them, like I've been told, upwards of $500,000 to conduct these. I'm sure it's a very expensive company that normally gets paid probably by insurance companies who don't want to pay out or whatever. And I don't know, but I'm sure the FBI doesn't hire them like all the time. But in this case, you know, they're probably one of the premier crash reconstruction companies in the country. So they hire them, and these guys are brilliant, and they have PhDs. They didn't go to community college. They're wicked smart, and we should probably listen to them. And when they testify that John's injuries were not consistent with a motor vehicle collision, and that the injuries to the vehicle were not consistent with hitting a pedestrian, that should probably tell us that Karen Reed couldn't have done this. And if Karen Reed didn't do it, then someone else did, because John's dead. So that's the first thing they do, is hire these guys. So like nothing else matters, like nothing else, except if she didn't do this, this is the only thing that matters. And this doesn't just cover murder. It covers manslaughter as well. Because that's the whole manslaughter thing was a compromise verdict. I just feel like it's like, well, we gotta throw Peggy a bone. She's sitting there fake crying, so we got to make it, you know, seem like, you know, we're doing this woman a favor. We got to do something. She's crying. She's looking right at us, and Brian Albert's scaring the shit out of us. So, you know, murder was, first of all, the murder. No, murder and manslaughter makes no sense either to me. It never did. Because 24 miles an hour in reverse can never be an accident, ever. It's either murder or nothing. And the answer is nothing. And the fact that more than one person can reach the conclusion, not just reach the conclusion, can vote to take 20 years of someone's life away, because that's what they're doing when they vote guilty. Vote to take 20 years of someone's life away because they're that sure that she hit them with the car, is criminal in and of itself. And I'm sick of pretending that it's not. I really am. And when this is all said and done, I think every member of the jury who voted to do this should be named and shamed. I do. Not now. Not now. But when this is all said and done, and Karen Reed is exonerated, and the FBI does their thing, and the bad guys are arrested, there needs to be some sort of reconciliation here, especially with the foreman and the engineer, who kind of were the bullies in the room who allowed this to happen. Like, why are they not why are they not being shamed? How are they not part of the problem? Oh, they're just doing their job. They're not, though, because they didn't listen to science. And I don't trust them. I don't trust that they're not plants now. Like, they're just pieces of shit. And they did it because no one would know who they are, you know? And I haven't doxed them. I haven't done any of that. But like, at the end of the day, how are they not complicit? Like, explain that one to me. Explain that one to me.
I do have to say, the people who don't like Turtleboy, I get it, because it's kind of, I get it. He's not, personality wise, he's not everyone's cup of tea, and he's not PC, and he doesn't, pander to people's sensitivities, we'll say, just like some political figures don't, like some people don't agree with. But he's doing good work, and you can't say he's not, because he's done all of this and gotten a lot of eyes on this case, on the Cameron case, and other cases in his area, really, that wouldn't have had eyes on before. I mean, you have to admit that. No matter if you like him or not, he's doing good work. Is he a little extra? Could he do less? Maybe, but that's not what he wants to do, and that's up to him. So, that's what he wants to do. On my channel, I want to sit here and crochet and watch what I'm watching. If you think it's boring, that's cool. But, or you don't agree with what I'm watching or who I'm watching, that's fine. But I know the same with Turtleboy. You don't like him, don't look at him. It's not hurting you. Maybe he's annoying you. He's not hurting anybody. He's bringing light to a lot of things. A lot of people, a lot of corrupt people, a lot of crappy people, a lot of evidence in the case. He's doing good work. So you can't argue with that. So whether you like him or not, personally or on a personal level or as a on a human level, someone you'd like to hang out with or whatever, that doesn't matter at all. You can dislike him but still agree with his views, his point of view. If you don't agree with his point of view, then that's fine too. He's not forcing you to be on his side. Nobody's forcing anyone to be on their side. Does he think you're an idiot? Yeah, that's his opinion, and everyone can have an opinion. So, yeah, it's. Sometimes I do agree. I do think he does it over the top sometimes, and he could do less. Like, I wasn't watching him when he was like calling Jennifer McCabe and Chris Albert, and when he was doing those calls on his live streams, I wasn't watching him then, because I probably would have had so much like secondhand embarrassment and so much cringe. I probably would have stopped watching. But you gotta admit, that's ballsy. That's really, really ballsy. I don't even like calling people I know, let alone people I don't know, and people who I think are murderers, like he thinks they are murderers. So.
Or so.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Was there any apparent damage to the Lexus that appeared consistent with any kind of pedestrian interaction that you saw?
No, it was really confined to just the taillight, a very isolated portion of the vehicle.
So there you go. Nothing about the car was consistent with the motor vehicle collision. Nothing.
During your review and your investigation, did you note information concerning items that were supposedly found on the bumper?
Yes.
What was that?
I believe it was noted there was 2 apparent glass fragments
Okay,
located.
so then let me listen to this part right here. Next part I got clipped. 159. Let's see.
And I will note, as part of the engagement with the entity that retained us, we were asked not to do any outside research.
It was your determination of, well, we were given instructions to reconstruct this. Let's look at every single angle, correct?
Absolutely. And I will note, as part of the engagement with the entity that retained us, we were asked.
As part of the engagement with the entity that retained us. Again, listen to that. This is how constricted these guys are. This is fucked up.
Not to do any, yes.
And that was your determination of, well, we were given instructions to reconstruct this. Let's look at every single angle, correct?
Absolutely. And I will note, as part of the engagement with the entity that retained us, we were asked.
As part of the engagement with the entity that retained us. It's criminal that this guy is testifying and he's not allowed to say who hired him. He can't. How the fuck is that like not telling? You want to tell the whole truth, the entire truth, and nothing but the truth, right? So why can't he say that? Why does he have to say the entity that retained us? Because the entity is the FBI that retained them.
Not to do any outside research or investigation of the case. It was to be based solely on the evidence that we were provided.
As a matter of fact, and importantly, while you were doing your testing, had you ever even heard of the Karen Reed case?
No.
So getting back to that.
Exactly. So he was not hired by the defense. He had never even heard of this case. He's not from around here.
I heard that the jury thought that these guys were hired by like Karen's insurance company, which I don't get because they literally said, what government, like, is it, who did Alan Jackson, when he was questioning him, or the other guy, I can't remember. He literally said, like, is it, you were hired by a third-party government agency. Is that correct? He literally said government agency. Because I was like, ooh, that is sneaky. Because they can't say FBI, if you didn't know that. I don't know why. Probably because they would put too much weight on their testimony. If they're like, oh, the FBI hired these guys, you don't want a name drop to be what makes them believable. They want their actual testimony to make them is believable. So I get it. But yeah, Alan Jackson literally said that's something about a government agency that hired them. And then the jury thought that it was the insurance company. Like, what? Hello? He literally told you.
Correct.
Oh, she sneezed.
Tell us about that drug testing.
Certainly. So again, through discussion with Dr. Rentschler, it was my understanding that Mr. O'Keefe had a skull fracture on the back of his head. So we wanted to do an evaluation of the interaction between the back of a head. In this case, we used again, talking about that instrumented dummy again, we used the instrumented hybrid head form to perform a drop test to evaluate the forces of an interaction between a tail light from the Lexus and the human head.
So they built a hybrid human head that weighs the same amount as a human head and dropped it against the taillight at a velocity that would have been similar to what the Commonwealth alleges was the velocity that John's head was struck by the Lexus. Okay. So this is just science. This is physics.
What height did you choose to perform this drop test?
7.5 feet.
Why'd you choose that height?
Well, if you calculate it through physics and the acceleration due to gravity, that would equate to an impact speed of 15 miles per hour at that height.
And what was the significance of 50 miles per hour?
Well, that was essentially kind of a starting point for us, if you will. So I will tell you that in reverse, 15 miles an hour is fast. I don't know if you've ever looked at your speedometer when you're pulling into your driveway, reversing into it into a parking stall. Most people probably don't go more than 5 miles an hour. So 15 miles an hour in reverse is fast, especially when we're talking about, it's my understanding it was nighttime. There was winter conditions.
And again, this whole test with the head is all moot anyway, because the Commonwealth doesn't even allege that that the tail light hit his head. The problem is they had no idea what the Commonwealth was going to come up until the trial itself. I had no idea what their theory was. They didn't put it out there. They had no fucking theory. When I heard arm hitting the tail light, like that's the arm hit the tail light. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Even Plevin's fucking idea sounded better than this. The arm hitting the tail light. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God, stop it. Stop it. But so they had to run a bunch of tests. They did the Cannon test to see if the shot glass hit it. They did the freaking human head test. And then
potentially wet or icy roads. So again, that speed is going to be what I would say on the high end for going in reverse. So also in addition to with respect to kind of just the nature of that speed, it's my understanding through discussion with Dr. Rentschler that at 15 miles an hour, you start to see significant injuries to the human body when it makes contact with a vehicle. And I think one last point is that we needed to pick a speed where, again, this is kind of just us brainstorming, where we would have damage to the taillight, right? It would fracture it, but it wouldn't completely obliterate it. So we knew if we chose a speed, for instance, of 40 miles an hour.
So this camera is a lot more zoomed in, and I kind of like, it's really bouncy because it's like on this like arm thing that's holding onto it, and every time I move it bounces a lot. So I'm gonna turn off the camera for like a millisecond. I'm gonna like zoom it out a little bit. Actually, that's a lot. Oh yeah, way better.
What's your conclusion?
Yeah, fast forward.
Well, you're talking about
Whether or not there was damage between the dent and the taillight. In other words, that 20-inch area. Was it
Oh, so this is another thing. Okay. So I forgot about this. So they pointed at Trooper Paul said in his testimony that there was a scratch on the vehicle, or a dent and a scratch that was parallel with the light. And it was 20 inches away from the taillight. And his philosophy is that like John's arm is 20 inches long. And so that he had the drinking glass out here, it hit the car. And that's what it's just insane. It's absolutely insane. It's bonkers. But they talk about this here. Listen to this.
Was it deformed in any way?
So in terms of, again, if we're talking about, again, looking at the back of the vehicle and we go to kind of where that right tail lamp just meets the liftgate, as I mentioned, there's another lamp assembly on the liftgate itself. There's also a chrome trim piece above that, and then certainly the body paneling to the liftgate itself. And I think what stood out to me is that between that dent and the fractured taillight, there was no observable damage to that area, which I would have expected had an arm been positioned there.
So had an arm been positioned, the Trooper Paul again said that little dent kind of 20 inches away from the light was his drinking glass, and he held his arm out like this. And then, but the problem is there's no damage between that little dent, and the light itself is completely unscathed. So he's like, there would have been more damage between the light and that little thing if there was actual, if he actually hit an arm. Duh. Then
Be projected.
Is the absence of damage that you described between the dent and the rest of the vehicle, with the exception of the taillight, is that consistent or inconsistent with striking an outstretched arm of a human being?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
That would be inconsistent in my opinion.
inconsistent. There we go. So this guy who's a
It's
scientist.
the part where I wonder. I know this is the guy that said it about the cannon, but I don't know if this is the part where he talks about the cannon. So, we'll have to see.
May I have just a moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
So that settles that. Now,
And what is your opinion, Doctor?
You are unmuted.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Last question, Doctor. In your expert opinion,
that's a good question.
Is the damage to the taillight
That's
that you
good.
saw consistent with striking a human head?
No.
In your expert opinion, is the damage to the taillight consistent with striking a human arm?
No.
Thank you. That's all I
All right, jurors, we will take our morning recess.
I
There you
don't
go.
know
It's not
why
consistent.
they
And that's
wouldn't
a good
have
question.
made
Why didn't Arca do a video?
a video.
I do
Like,
feel like
Microdot's
that would have
made
added a
all
lot
those
if they
videos.
videotaped some of
I wish
these
I could use my. I don't know. I don't know.
you know,
If, I don't know
tests.
how that works.
That would have done
Like,
a
if you have
lot.
to
I mean,
be
our people did that.
specifically,
Some guy, I think it was Justin, took a
Um,
goddamn frozen
like something special about
ribs
making
or
a
something
video that's not
and
real.
smashed
It's
the
like
fucking taillight as
theory.
hard as he could and couldn't break it.
I don't know how that works.
It was wild.
Hi,
It was
Shirley.
wild.
I am
But
making
yeah, we could use a video
a
reenactment. That would be awesome this time
cardigan
around. We'll see what happens.
for a
Okay.
Christmas present.
All right.
for
Next up, what
family
my next
members.
thing here is
That's why I haven't
245. The
been
shoe. Let's
making
talk about the
videos or
shoe.
live.
So then he
because
gets
I'm
cross-examined, and
feverishly
Lally
just
tries getting like spicy here.
going back and
It
forth.
just
back and
doesn't
forth.
work out. He's so
Half
awkward.
double
Not nearly as often
crocheting
as, like I said earlier, we
this
primarily do
cardigan,
litigation work.
because
So
I
again,
have
by the
to
time
get
we're
it done
retained,
before
obviously the scene has been, there's no
And
longer
I
present.
hate
Scene's been cleared, items have been
big
removed.
boring
Evidence-
projects.
Oh, listen to that. Listen to that. Listen to that. Listen
Bodies
to
in
that.
place of
And
final
I've
rest. Whoever
already
been from the scene,
have
with those
blood,
with
sweat, and
conditions
tears
existed.
in this cardigan.
Have you ever been to the scene where these sort of situations existed? Now, just listen to what he says here and think of how the jury would handle this when you think about who hired you, like who's paying you to be here. Listen to what he says.
Certainly, we have a rapid response team that essentially we've been on site on the day of or the week of the incident. Yes.
Now, how often is that?
I just realized I didn't mute the video while I was talking. Hi, Shirley. I'm making a cardigan as a Christmas present for a family member. That's why I haven't been doing too much with my YouTube channel lately because I've been just feverishly going back and forth, half double crocheting on the bottom of this sweater, trying to get it finished. And I'm almost done. Well, I'm almost done with the length. And then I have to do the sleeves and the, like, what do you call it? Like the cuts on the sleeves, obviously. And then like the, like ribbing, like around it, like around the, it's actually blue, but I have my light. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it's actually like navy blue. It's just the lighting on the camera. I also got a new camera. The quality is a lot better, but I haven't dialed in the color. But it's navy blue. There's nothing. I can't really like this. Like this looks super pink. It's actually red. So it's just the light is kind of washing everything out. And like this is my credit card. it's navy blue. That's all I had sitting next to me.
And half the snow had fallen. Somehow the Canton police with their snowblower out there, they missed it. They missed that. So listen to how he answers this.
Well, I think that depends on the interaction between the two. If it's more of a side swipe type interaction, if we're just talking about an arm, for instance, contact the vehicle, no, I would not expect the shoe to come off.
If it was a side swipe, I would not expect the shoe to fall off. And just to remind you, the government's alleging that it was a side swipe. They're not saying that he got hit and run over. They said he was swiped and did a pirouette. Okay? And so they're not saying
I
that.
could never
They're saying
do that while I'm on a road trip because I'm always the one driving. I know it really does actually look great in the camera, but I just got this new camera and I was just excited to use it. So I set it up and I don't really know if I can even mess with the colors or not. And I definitely can't do it while I'm live. So I'll have to figure it out a little bit more. But the quality is much better than the old camera. And I do like gray, so it would, I mean, I probably have tons of gray, but like the person I'm making this for, their favorite color is blue. So it's blue. And it's just the yarn is this Premier just 1 pound in denim, the color denim. I got it from Dollar Tree in the Dollar Tree Plus section for $5. So it's a full pound of yarn for $5. And like it's not bad quality. It's not like Red Heart. It's actually a lot softer. And I like it a lot better. But this will be the skein I have to use for the ribbing and the arms. Because this skein is almost but yeah, this is the yarn Premier just 1 pound, 100% acrylic in the color denim. The dye lots do match though. I made sure of that when I went back for this one. But I just couldn't believe it was only $5 and it felt nice. So I was like, oh, I need that. I think I got a white too, because I was thinking about doing some like either mixing the two strands, like holding both strands at once and making the sweater, and then I decided not to, so then I had to go back and get the second blue so that I could do the whole thing in just blue. But I could never crochet on a road trip because I'm always the one driving. But it would be a good use of time. I always think about that, like, where can I bring my crochet stuff if I ever am waiting somewhere or doing something really boring? Yeah, I think our Dollar Tree just started at the beginning, like maybe the beginning of the summer, having the like Dollar Tree Plus stuff. And at first they had like one section that was all the like $3 and $5 stuff. But then they got sneaky and they started to like sprinkle it in with the rest of like the $1.25 stuff. So now you have to like be careful what you're buying and actually like look at if it's in a spot that has like a $3 or $5 like sticker on the shelf in front of it. So that's sort of annoying. But this was like on a big end cap, and it says the price rate on it, so you couldn't like be confused. But I like those. Premier makes these. I think I don't know if they make them exclusively for Dollar Tree, but the smaller skeins that are $1.25 are this just Premier just, and then like there's like just chenille or just worsted or just sport weight or whatever. And I like the chenille. I don't know if I have the tag. I'm all right. Okay. But this is Dollar Tree yarn too, just chenille. This color is terrible. This is actually like a mint green. I don't know how to fix it, but this is actually like a mint green. But it's the chenille by Premier Just chenille from Dollar Tree for $1.25 for this scheme. I don't have the tag button, so I don't remember how much it was. Or yeah, how much it was. I don't remember like what the ounces is or anything. But this is actually like a mint green. This is the camera. But I love it. I like making like amigurumi animals and stuffies out of this because it's not bulky. Like some people use Bernat blanket, and I feel like that's just way too bulky. And this isn't bulky at all like compared to the yarn I'm using. It's only maybe it's not bad at all. And some people get like annoyed because it will come apart like at the ends. Like if you really like see, like if you really want to, you can pull it apart, but just be careful. I don't know. Like it's $1. What do you can't expect to get the same quality as a $12 skein of yarn and $1 skein of yarn, but I like it, and just for like for amigurumi stuff for my nieces and nephews or just to practice because I don't sell any of my stuff. It's just for people I know. So I don't sell it or anything, so I'm not too worried if something comes apart. It's whatever. What you I can't crochet in black. I can't see it. Maybe the Chanel would be easier to see because it's a little bit shiny, but black is so hard to see. Especially if you're doing like something where you have to be really exact. I guess like if you were doing like a granny stitch, it would be easier because you don't really have to know where the stitch is. You just go in the spaces. But like if I was doing this in black, like there's no way. Well, maybe because I'm using too big of a hook. I'm using a 6mm hook size, and this calls for a 4. But I wanted it to be a little more flexible. It is aware. It's a. Oh no, it only calls for a 5.5. So that's not bad. But I wanted it to be flexible and not super rigid. And I crochet tight anyway, so yeah, black. I try to avoid black. The lighting is good for me. I can see what I'm doing. It's just that the camera coloring is off. Because like I have this lamp next to me. I can see what I'm doing, but then when I shine it like this, it like washes everything out. So I gotta like figure out the balance and the color and stuff with the camera. Because just with the light I have, I can see perfectly fine.
Did you ever see a piece of metal protruding underneath the broken and shattered plastic pieces from the tail light?
And this really says it all. Lally's like, well, you saw pictures of the taillight, right? But did you actually see the taillight? And you think about it, and you're like, this was their presentation to the jury. All those times where like they put on their gloves like they're real cops, opened up the packages, and they're like, taillight, aha, taillight. Look at that. It's red.
I don't know if you follow. I can't either. Okay, I was gonna talk about the video, but I can't either. I don't even. Well, I hold a pencil weird. Like I don't know. I don't get. I'm gonna try. I don't get it. I just don't understand. How can you like like I can't move it. Am I holding it wrong? I don't even know. But I can't move it. Like this way I can like twist it. This way I can't twist it. And it's like I feel like I'm like under, like I can't see under. Like, and I can't twist it to get the yarn. And I don't understand people who like don't move their hook with this hand. Like I can't, like they'll be like they like physically like put the yarn over. That stitch is like super loose now that I was messing with it. But yeah, I don't get it. I like to move the hook. I don't like to have to move my hands to like compensate for the hook. I can twist it. And also I like to like hold the yarn. Like, I don't know why. It's just, everyone has their thing, right? Yeah, the pencil thing, I definitely don't get that. Yeah, to see, like, I like, this hand stays still. I don't do anything with this hand. It's just holding the yarn. This is the hand that's doing all the work. This hand's usually the one that's losing the yarn and messing up my tension. Yeah, because I like swivel. Like, I swivel the hook, and I don't know how people do it. Like, can't even do it as an example. Like, the back of my hand gets in the way. I don't get it. I'm also not holding it right, but really hold it like this. That's even worse. I don't know. I just know I can't do it that way.
Observed in this particular case.
At that speed, no.
Exactly. At that speed, no. What about a crack though? Because we all agree that Karen Reed backing up into John's car would not have caused the damage to the taillight as it was seen in the Canton Sallyport later on. We all agree with that.
It's okay. That's why I'm
What
here,
we
right?
disagree on is how
try to talk to people and everything. I'm just not very good at multitasking is the thing. And I have Turtleboy on my TV and on my laptop because I'm like streaming it from my laptop, but I'm listening to it on my TV. So that's why I have to keep muting because you can hear my TV if I don't mute. So, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to chat, and it does get boring if I'm just sitting here by myself. Although it does, I'm very new to all of this. I've never been a live stream or even like a make videos type of person. I'm just not. So I feel like I'm talking to myself, and my dogs probably think I'm completely insane talking to myself. I need like somebody to stream with me. Nobody I know like to watch the same things as me. Or crochet. So.
Didn't matter at all.
What is your conclusion as to whether or not the damage to the vehicle and the injuries to a human being
Perfect
are consistent
answer.
or
Exactly.
inconsistent with the vehicle
Absolutely
interaction?
not.
Objection.
Sustain. All right, Dr. Wolf, you are all set, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So we're gonna get to the other Crash Daddy in a moment. Let me just read some turtle chats real quick. All right. First up, we got Chloe. Tell the Truth sends $5 and says, "How about Jen McTooth butt dialing John from 12:30 a.m. on, and he never called her back? Yeah, she was looking for his phone after the fight. Let's debunk the original 911 call. Her and male dispatch." Okay, I agree with everything you said there. Thank you, Chloe. Loudmouth sends $25 and says, "Mark Vaginitis, you suck. Thanks for always cracking me up and reminding me about our constitutional rights. My pleasure." I think you mean Matt Vaginitis. Matt Vaginitis. Wait a minute. Did Penn State, they scored? Did they not get the extra point, or did they go for two? I need to know what happened there. Need to know what happened. Okay, thank you. Kim sends $10 and says, "How would the foreman vote if asked by the court regarding the first trial?" Huh? I would think he would say that he voted not guilty on murder. They were all willing to say that. So yeah, thank you. A-Rod Rodriguez sends $10 and goes, "Jackson is a mechanical engineer." Is he really? Thank you very much, A-Rod. Chris sends $50 and goes, "Please, no last name. Healthcare guy was supposed to testify versus Pelosi. If off record, Voss comments are admitted, the federal investigation should be as well. How do you suppose Beveridge explains the lead detective not being employed or able to take stand in trial 2? He is employed. He's just not getting paid right now. Has Sean in the Gulf reached out? I feel like he had an actual breakdown. Luckily, I haven't heard from Sean in the Gulf at all. Thankfully, we seem to have moved past that one. But as far as the other stuff you're saying, I don't know if Proctor's going to testify in the second trial. It's not a good
I
look.
do not know what all
not a
that
good look if he does.
stuff was about.
But
Like,
why'd they allow him to do it in the
absolutely
first
no
place? In the first trial,
What any of that was
I don't
about.
know. I think they're gonna have
He
to. If
just,
they
like,
had him
freaked
testify in the
out
first trial,
and,
why
like,
not the second?
Started hating everybody and
with the
thinking
Voss
Bernard
stuff,
is guilty.
I don't like. Again,
None of it
unless
was-
she confessed to
everyone was,
killing
like,
John
really-
O'Keefe,
Really bothered by it.
which I feel like Gretchen Voss probably would have published had she done so.
I guess he
I don't
started,
think
like,
I don't know what
like, not
Hank is
positive,
expecting to
and
find
just
here.
attacking
So
other
thank you for that one,
YouTubers.
Chris. Next up, Suzanne sends $10 and goes, I spent over 20 years as a compliance officer in health insurance companies, and I had to deny claims. We also approved experimental services. We are not bad people. Well, thank you very much, Suzanne. I appreciate that. Callie sends $10, says 18-month investigation over $7,000 is a glaring reminder that the FBI investigations are always slow burns. Exactly. You rock, Doc. Thank you for fighting the good fight. Well, thank you very much. Get him, get him, get him. Yes. All right. Awesome. All right. A-Rod Rodriguez sends $10, says, why do all the Karen haters shut off their comments? What a bunch of pussies. I know. You know, Krusty doesn't, at least. She just gets dunked on. I think she likes getting dunked on, but the rest of them are just pussies. All right. Thank you. Sunny Days sends $25 and says, Colorado loves you too. We are blue like Mass, but there are so many of us that want the fucking truth. Colorado wasn't that blue like 20 years ago. It got real blue. Yeah. Thanks for bringing it, Turtleboy. Love you. Well, thank you very much, Sunny Days, and shout out to all my Colorado Turtle Riders. Okay, cool. Nikki sends $10 and says, speaking of bonuses, Lally's received over $84,000 in bonuses since being at Norfolk District Attorney's Office. Interesting. He holds the spot number 3. Beeland is number 1 with 98,000, and Krippendorf is number 2 with 85,000. Just in bonuses? That's interesting. Well, thank you much, Nikki. Jay Carp sends $10 and goes, Auntie Deb is a meanie. I am more than a Make-A-Wish Peggy Bundy. Oh, Julie Carpenter. Yeah. Auntie Deb is a meanie. I know. He's sassy and fresh. Thank you very much, Jay Carp. Okay. Do we have any cash apps here? I could have sworn I was getting cash apps before. Hold on. All right. I don't think we do. I got the Christine, I think was the last cash app we had there. Okay, cool. All right. Let me just refresh and make sure I didn't miss anyone. Yeah. Lacey sends $10 and goes, are we going to hear Alan's very serious voiceover clip I sent you and Meredith? Oh. Do we have that? I don't know where I have it. I'd have to, I'll try to find it. Remind me at the end. I can find that for us. The voiceover. Wait. There was a Taylor Swift one that Meredith put out. I got to find this one. Hold on. People are loving this. You guys are loving the goddamn Phelps photos, huh?
These Turtleboy, photos are supposed to be like a spoof of like that. What was his name? But they were supposed to be funny. It was supposed to be a joke, and people, it is hilarious because of that William Phelps thing with Turtleboy and that whole podcast and kind of stupid. But it was supposed to be a joke. And people are loving it. People are already making memes and videos and see this is like these are the that's the those are the pictures that he was like that Turtleboy was like spoofing. And people are loving it.
A true crime podcasting legend. But he is no longer top dog in town. A much younger, fresher face has arrived.
More attractive too.
Move over Mount Valentines. There's a new sheriff in town.
Ooh.
A. Timothy
Ooh,
Carter.
shit's serious.
And he'll be exposing corruption.
See, this is what he's like
solving
spoofing.
murders in ways it's never.
So serious. All right. Cool. Thank you for that one. Lacey, she says
They're
that
so creative.
since you've been on the air, the Assad regime has fallen. Did that really happen? It was that in Syria. He's out. That's good. What a moment in history to share with you. I sent you a Marino inaugural invite. Check your DMs. I did get that. I won't be able to make it, Lacey, to Ohio, unfortunately, for Marino's party. But pass along my regards, will you? Thank you very much. All right, cool. If anyone else wants their message read out loud, you click at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $.
And he did a show. Okay, so I have crocheted and recrocheted this sweater so many times. This is an entire skein of that Premier 1 pound. And this is what I'm working off. This is connected. This is the old sweater. I was originally making a granny stitch sweater. And then I just couldn't get it right. I literally tore this apart and redid it. I think at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. But at the last time, I was through the whole skein of yarn, and I was like, ew, I hate this. So I just took from the bottom of that old sweater and started making this sweater. So I was making a sweater into a sweater. And this is what is left of that skein. This is like the collar part of that old sweater. And my thing showing me what size hook I used, because sometimes I don't remember. So I can take this off since I'm like almost done. Well, I haven't. It's handy because I forget what size hook I'm using all the time. Because, I have more than one, but I like this one. So I use it for different projects and I forget. So then I saw somebody I got this off of Temu. I got these off of Temu. And they're numbered like 1 through 10, I think. I'm not sure what they're actually supposed to be used for. Because I would never in my life use a 1mm crochet hook because I would go completely insane. But I used the 6, so I have the 6 and whatever other 5. I rarely ever crochet with less than like a 5mm hook. 5.5 is pretty standard for me. This is what is left of the skein and what is left of the original 3rd try sweater I was making. I'm gonna have to try on. It's not for me, but me and who I'm making it for are pretty similar in size. So I'm gonna try it on and see how the length is. And if I have to tie on here at the bottom, or if I need to tie on the new skein for the sleeves or the, I think, yeah, I'm gonna have to do the sleeves first and then like the ribbing and the trim, because I think that's just how it's done and would probably be easiest. I don't know. This is the first sweater I've ever made. Well, if you don't count the one that I ripped apart 3 times, it's the first one. But if you count the one I ripped apart 3 times, it's the fourth one. It's the only one I've kept though. Well, so far I've kept it. But this, I really can't wait until the bottom length of this sweater is done, because I really dislike just going back and forth in a straight line. Like, I cannot make blankets. I made my grandmother a scarf, and even that was so boring. But at least that I had to do like one row. It was a 2-row repeat, so every other row I had to do something different. So that wasn't as boring. But this, just doing half double crochets in a line for, I can't remember how many stitches there is, 102, 200 170, 270, I don't know, too many. The answer is too many stitches in a row. Drives me crazy. When I get to the end of the row, I'm so happy. But then I'm sad when I have to turn and go back the other way. It goes pretty fast if I can really concentrate and actually like knock it out. But I've been adding length to this all day, and I'll have to zoom out later to know where. I've been adding length to this all day long, and I have probably I've done a lot actually, because it's way longer. It's like an actual, well, it's not a sweater because this is the sleeve hole, and there's no sleeve. This is I don't know, a t-shirt, a short sleeve cardigan, I guess, but it's long. It's getting longer. Yeah, because this is the sleeve, like the bottom, like the armpit area, and yeah, I can't even get it on camera. Like, I'd have to zoom out later. But I've probably done this much today. I've been going back and forth. I made some soup earlier. But then when Turtleboy started streaming, I watched that for a long time before I realized, oh, you should go live, Megan. What are you doing? That's like what you're supposed to do. You know? And I got this new camera I'm trying out, but apparently the color is way off, because this looks gray and it's not gray. It is denim. You can kind of tell, I guess. If I get closer, you can. Oh, maybe not. I have no idea what it looks like to you guys, but it's denim. This is the yarn I'm using. So this sweater so far, without any sleeves, and however long it is, which I don't even know how long it is, but without any sleeves, is £1. And I got this at Dollar Tree in their dollar plus section. And I haven't, all of my tearing apart of 3 sweaters and going back and forth, I have not cut any off. Like, there's no snags I couldn't get out or anything. So it is a proper whole skein so far. It can obviously be more when I get the sleeves on and the ribbing and everything. But that's where we're at now. That's the update on the never-ending sweater. Feels never-ending. I'm gonna get one of those tags on Amazon. Like, I see some of these people have those like little leather tags that they like can put on like the pocket or the bottom or whatever. I'm gonna get one. I saw one that says, "This took effing forever." Because it did. I think I started this sweater like the end of September, and I just made it so many times. that it has just taken now. I don't remember when I started making this version, but probably less than a month, I think. Because I think I started it like the second week in November. So if I would have just used this pattern to begin with, wouldn't have been bad. I don't know what I was doing. I was like counting wrong or doing like the turning chains wrong with the other sweater because it was the granny stitch. So like on the ends, there's I can't really tell right now because this is like the collar part, but you had to your granny and then this is the chain, the turning chain it was called. So then see like how this row, there's the 3 and then the turning chain, and then these 3, this cluster is inside of here. Well, then some of them, I don't know if there's any on here too, I'm too far gone. But some of the rows, like ended with like just a chain 4. And then in the next row, you would do like the 4 inside of that. And it was like every third row was like just the chain 4. And I think I like really messed it up. Like that's how I got so off track. I really messed it up because of I think I lost track at some point of when like the ending, like when the ending should just be 3, when should it be 4, and when should it just be the chain 4. And that's why I had to start over so many times. But right, like this was the very first row where you just had to do the cluster in the individual chain spaces from the regular chain. I think I did a regular chain on this because usually I do a chainless foundation, like a single crochet, like a foundation single crochet, because I really, really don't like working into a chain. It just don't like it. I hate trying to get the little back bump and get your hook. I can't. I don't have the patience for that. But that's where we're at with this one. Now I can go back. I'm like, this is all that's left of this game. So once I get through this, I have to try it on and figure out what's going on, where I need to start the next game, if I'm going to start it and add more length to the bottom, or if I'm going to start on the sleeves. So that will be the thing to come in the next couple minutes. If I have enough yarn to get to the end. If I don't have enough yarn to get to the end, either we rip out this row if it's long enough, or I tie on the new skein and finish out the row, or tie on the new skein, finish out the row, and keep going with the length. We have to figure. Well, we kind of have to finish out this skein and figure out where we are. But I'm used to talking this one. I work from home, so I don't talk very much. I think I'm losing my voice. I need a drink. So what's going on? I'm glad I decided to use a half double crochet and not a double crochet, because the double crochet would have been too holy. And I say that, and I was going. This was originally going to be the original sweater, these huge ones. So, but I am glad I like it. I think like that's how it makes these lines, and it kind of goes. This one goes this way. This one goes this way. Gives it a little bit of variation. And it feels like everything is made with half double crochet. Like with double crochet. Like every Afghan blanket, whatever you want to call it, every single blanket I've ever seen crocheted has been double crocheted. I don't know if that's just how it was for grandmas and people making blankets back in the day. It's like everything is a double crochet. I don't see a half double crochet very often. And I like it. I saw a video for like a connected double crochet. I was messing with it earlier. I don't think you're gonna be able to see this, but I'll try. At first I have to make a double crochet. Because you make a double crochet, this one's a double crochet. And then you go, instead of yarning over and then going in, to make it connected, I can't remember which one you use, if you use this one or if you use this one. You go into it and that acts as your yarn over. Then you go into your stitch and then you have 3 on your loop and then you pull through 2 and pull through 2. And it's supposed to be like a connected because it connects it in the middle so that it's not so super holy. And I was messing with this earlier. And like I said, I don't officially know which post you go into. I was just kind of grabbing whichever one, but it's so weird not airing over. It feels weird. You go into that, then into the stitch, pull up a loop through 2 and through 2. And then like from here, I think it's this one. Because that's the one I just made. So I think it's this one. So yeah, I was just messing with it earlier just to see if it actually looked like double crochets, if it was weird. It kind of has this weird extra loops here in the front. And I don't know if I like that. Maybe once you finish with them, it wouldn't be so obvious, but to me it seems really obvious right now. And now I have to go back up to what I made. But I was messing with that earlier. It was interesting. I'd probably have to watch a video to see if that's how you actually do it or not. But if anyone has any questions, you can put them in chat. I'll answer as best I can. I'm just kind of hanging out today, trying to finish up this sweater before Christmas. I know a lot of people want like tutorials, like beginner crochet tutorials, and I'm not a good teacher. I'm just not. I don't know. Can't do tutorials. Plus, I would forget. I would forget I was in the middle of a tutorial, and I would like just keep going and forget to film the next step, and then I'd either just have half a video or I don't know, just like have to rip out half what I did to go back to film it. It's almost done. I did do a foundation single crochet to start it out. I think it makes it a lot, because this would have been the collar, and it makes it a lot stretchier than to make a chain. I think a chain is so rigid, like it has no flex to it once you're working into the chain. So I like using a foundation single crochet bed. This is the end of the skein. So. I think the YouTube algorithm says I should be doing beginner crochet tutorials. I am just not a teacher. I can try. Maybe someday I'll try after Christmas because I got way too much fun right for Christmas. Oh, we might have to cut this because I just pulled it a lot. I don't know where it goes. Well, maybe not. Maybe. Oh, vegan. We'll see. I don't think I've cut any off of this. I literally think this is the entire skein. So I'm pretty stoked about that. This definitely feels heavier than a pound. Like the actual skein doesn't feel as heavy as the sweater. The sweater feels so heavy. I know the person I'm giving this to, and I'm gonna have to like tell her exactly. Like, be careful if you rip it or something. Don't mess with it. Just bring it to me. I'll fix it, but don't like don't try to fix it. Don't pull it. Don't do anything. This took forever. If you ever don't want it, give it back. Don't throw it away. I don't think she would. She likes cardigans, so that's why I want to make a cardigan. I don't know if she's ever gonna wear this, but I am making it. So. I'm watching Turtleboy go over. I don't know which one's using her phone. That one. This one. Yeah, I'm watching Turtleboy kind of go through different testimony from the Karen Reed trial because it's been everyone's lives. All of these people, it's been their life for so long that I don't know what they're gonna do when it's over. Because the new trial is supposed to be in January, unless it gets pushed out. There's motions in play right now that might get pushed out till April, but it's gonna be over soon, one way or another. And I don't know what half these people are gonna do. Half of these YouTube creators are gonna do when this trial is over. If they're gonna keep talking about it forever, or if they're gonna find something else to talk about, but it's gonna be interesting. Because this trial was 6 months ago, and I get like there's gonna be another trial, and you go over it, you'll learn from the old trial for the new trial, what worked, what didn't work. But I don't know what some of these people are gonna do when it's all over. Because it's been their lives for so long. I mean, Turtleboy has other stuff. He always has different articles and stuff. I don't know where he finds the time. He comes up with a lot of stuff. But some other creators, it's like this trial made their channel. And I don't know what they're gonna do when it's over, and they have to find something else, or they have to find, like find something else organically and actually do research themselves and not just like reaction videos, because a lot of it is just people's opinions, which is obviously fine. I love reaction videos. I'm making a reaction video right now, really. So many people have made that their entire personality for so long. Almost to the end, and I have a bunch of yarn left. And oh yeah, we'll make another row. We're gonna be playing yarn chicken in a second, and in a few more rows, one more row, 2 more rows. We're gonna be playing yarn chicken at some point to see if we can make it to the end of the row or not, and how much we have left over. If we can't make it to the end of the row, Shirley asked or said earlier in the chat, like, that I use the knife hold, and she does too. And then I tried to do the pencil hold, and I cannot. I can't even get a stitch going. Like, how do they do? See, it cannot be done. So, put in the chat how do you hold your crochet hook? You hold it like this, and like go into it like this in the pencil style, or do you hold it like this in the knife style? I hold it like this, and then I don't know why, I like to hold the yarn back with my thumb just to get it out of the way. So it's not like this hook, it's not going to fall off because it's an inline hook. But my old hooks were just the regular, like cheap aluminum ones, and the stitches would fall off constantly. But this one's not. But I still like to hold them back so that they're not, I don't lose a loop, or like I don't like split the yarn or anything. It slides down. But how do you hold your crochet hook? I'm curious. Well, almost like messed up. This is the hardest part, is turning this gigantic thing. Because I got laptop and camera and everything in front of me, and I have to turn it, make sure that I'm in the right place and the yarn is to the right. And then I get comfy for 3 minutes until I get done with the row, and then I have to do it. Turtleboy is watching college football. He's free. They changed the rules in football. I have no idea what's going on. Right? It's so kinked up from being worked so many times, but it gets it gets like knotted up so easy. Be careful. Especially college football. I think there's different rules between NFL football and college football. And I don't even understand the NFL rules, so I definitely would not understand the college football rules. I can't keep them both straight. So it's useless trying to learn both of them. He's freaking me. Ooh, Wisconsin, shout out. Someone from Turtleboy's Turtle Chat. He's from Wisconsin. I know he's saying sorry that the Packers lost. But I watched some of that game. I don't usually watch games, but I watched some of it. And we did, supposedly the Packers did a lot better than I thought they would. Because everything I saw said that the Lions were going to absolutely smash them into the ground, and it was going to be crazy. And that's not what happened. They did really well. I was really surprised. Really surprised. I have an ex from Massachusetts, so I would never go there. Like, no, thank you. I don't think he's there, but in the whole entire state, I still would not go there. I'm always talking about the O'Keefes and Brian Albert, and whoever else, I don't even know who's there. Getting like during closing arguments, being right behind the lawyers, like right across from them, just like staring them down the entire time. It was pretty messed up. They're just like literally facing the jury. It was wild. You're watching their closing arguments, you can see. I can't remember who was there. Brian Albert. Brian Albert stands out to me because he was wearing what was he wearing? Like a sweater vest? to the closing arguments? I don't know. But he didn't look like he was in his natural habitat. We'll put it that way. He did not look like he was in his natural habitat. If I was the jury, I had thoughts that he was the one who killed John O'Keefe. He's just staring at me the whole time during closing arguments. Sure. Maybe a little intimidating, yeah, definitely. My dog is dreaming. Making like little barking at something in his dream.
Somebody get on, please.
Almost there. No, not really. I don't know how many more rows we can do. At least one. After this one. I need to do something different. I am so bored of just going in a straight line back and forth all day long. But I don't think it's long enough. So I'm going to have to keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep pushing.
Okay, now. She won't be overlooked ever. That's what I'm saying, man. Fix that.
All courtrooms. The audio is ridiculous. Like I was watching another trial this week, and the audio was just horrible. How can you have crappy audio in a courtroom? A courtroom is literally meant for some people to talk and some people to listen. So why is that such a hard concept? Why would they build a courtroom that you can't hear what people are saying and have audio issues like every 5 seconds? That's like the purpose of a courtroom. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm watching. I'm listening. I'm here for it. This yarn's getting okay.
SMU. Garbage. Putrid. All right, next up. I know. Why did you charge me? This is on. Brian Walsh misses. This is gonna be. Never again. Never.
It's going to be interesting how that whole Brian Walsh thing shakes out because Proctor was the lead investigator on that too. If he's in trouble and under investigation and everything, it could really mess up that whole situation, which is unfortunate because that guy, I haven't followed it very much, but it seems, and others have alleged, that he is like super guilty. Alleged. Proven yet, but that's what others are seeing. Others are better than me. Ooh, so we have things happening this week. That's exciting. It's been kind of a blah week for court. The 2 court trials I was going to watch this week, both of them ended up pleading guilty right before the trial started. Like, literally 5 minutes before. Like, not even 5 minutes. Like, right as the judge is like, okay, let's get started. They're like, oh, wait, I'm gonna plead guilty. I don't want to go through this whole thing. Let's just plead guilty. Which is crazy. That's crazy to me. They were both murder trials. It's crazy to me that you would just go through all that and, all the people got evidence, people got, stuff printed up, evidence brought in, and you're just like, nah, I'm going to plead guilty. At least go through the trial. You never know. You might get a fluke jury that just maybe the evidence isn't as good as they think it is. And the jury's like, nah, not guilty or lesser charge. I always tell people that's why I watch court, because that will never be me. It's like educational thing. Learn from other people's mistakes or other people's experiences. So you're almost getting super naughty. What are we going to watch now? How do I get out of it? I don't even know how to work this thing. Apologies. There, I figured it out. I don't usually watch what am I trying to say? I don't usually watch YouTube on my channel's YouTube account. I use my personal account. So I had to, like, in order to comment as Rage Crochet, I had to start watching on this account, on my actual channel account. So that people see me. Oh, we have to watch this. Okay. I don't know if anyone else. Oh, wait, I might have already watched this. I think I already watched that. Never mind. I don't know if anyone knows who Selena Spooky Boo is, but she's super cool. She's friends with Call Me Chris, who was big on YouTube. Or I don't know if she still is. She has a YouTube channel too. They're both really cool. They do like ghost hunting things sometimes, but they are so funny. They are so funny. And Selena is like the coolest. She is so cool. Like, and she has fertility issues that her and her husband have been dealing with, and they are going through a whole fertility journey right now, and it is beautiful and cool, and I'm just happy for them because I think they're going to be the best parents. I think they're just going to be the best parents ever. Yeah, and since I don't watch YouTube on this channel very much, it's a lot of randomness because the algorithm doesn't know what to show me. Abby Lee tells all. What does she have to tell? That's Abby Lee. She's had a lot of work done. If that's Abby Lee. I don't know if you can see this tiny picture. I could make it bigger. That's Abby Lee. That is insane. I don't really want to watch it, but that was her during the show. And that's her now. Oh, and I know when the show ended, she was in a wheelchair, but why is she... Does she have some chronic illness? I don't really know. But that is interesting. Wow. Yeah, I don't really want to watch that, but thought I would comment on that. Yeah, YouTube does not know what to show me. They're like, here, let's throw everything at you and see what happens. I definitely don't want to watch fashion videos. I'm not a fashion type of person. I wear like a jeans and a hoodie like every day I can. And then in the summer I wear jeans and a t-shirt. So I do like this guy a lot, and I'm not sure if I subscribed to him on this channel. I did. Okay, so there. No. So you have to like resubscribe to everything I've already subscribed to on my personal channel, or on my personal account, I should say. Yeah, I like that guy. He's funny. One row Japanese crochet stitch. These family channels are getting out of hand. They're just getting too crazy. This guy, the Dad Challenge podcast, he pretty much calls out family vloggers and, people who put their kids on camera and stuff, and like put them on blast for like all the crap that they do, like bad stuff. I only watch one like family vlogging channel sort of thing, and to me they're okay. To me they're not like sticking the kids on camera and making them do stuff. It's like they're literally just following the kids around on their day-to-day activities. And lately it's been a lot more about the parents and kind of like how the parents are steering their family, not necessarily like about the kids and stuff. So I think that the one I watch is okay. But then again, you never know what's happening when the camera's not rolling or behind, because they edit those. Like, you don't know, that kid freaked out. And just in general, like, that kid having to be out there. Like, there's some weirdos. There's a lot. And I know statistically, literally, I've looked this up. Statistically, the world in the way of, children being hurt or taken and stuff like that is it's actually a lot safer nowadays than it was back in like the 70s and 80s. And people can argue that with me all they want, but it's true. I know it's true. I've looked at the research and the statistics, set forth by the government. And it's a lot safer now than it was back then because of cameras and cell phones and tracking and like being able to track people's cars and track their cell phones and ring cameras, ring doorbells, and people just being a lot more aware and a lot more careful. So like it's a lot safer nowadays, but stuff still does happen. But I think that the statistic is like being actually like a child being taken by a stranger is so rare. It's just the term is trying to. It is super rare. Usually if a child is taken, it's because of like some kind of custody thing, like a parent custody battle and stuff like that. And for someone to actually be taken by a stranger is really rare. And being hurt too. Most children are hurt by people they know and not strangers. Just statistically speaking. I'm not saying it can't happen because obviously over the years we've seen children being taken and being hurt by strangers, but just statistically speaking. But then again, obviously everybody wants to do whatever they can to keep their children possible. So a lot of people think putting pictures of their kids on the internet is bad. Family vloggers are bad, putting their kids' images out there, showing. I don't think a lot of them actually show like where they go to school or their houses or stuff like that. But it's the internet. It's not hard to find at all. Like the whole thing with that one YouTube vlogger with what was it, 17? She like had like 17 diapers laying around her house or whatever. Even like that lady, like people found where they live and the name of her husband's business and where she works, and they've turned him into CPS and turned him into real estate governing body where they live because the husband is a real estate agent and he's not supposed to be running that business out of their house. And that's just purely from them letting people know a little bit about their lives. So if somebody like really, really, really wanted to figure stuff out about them, it could be done. It's like, come on. Haven't we all, seen somebody's Facebook picture with somebody and we go look at their page and look at their friends, and you know how it goes. We kind of go down the rabbit hole of social media and, social media sleuthing or snooping or whatever you want to call it. I think we've all been there a little bit to some extent. And you can find out a lot if you just look for it and kind of follow the internet's trail of breadcrumbs. Honestly, when I make my Christmas list, I don't remember people's addresses. And I like my Christmas cards to be kind of a surprise, so I don't want to ask people for their addresses. So I go looking for their addresses, and it's really not that hard. Like back in the day, remember there used to be phone books. Like literally everyone in town, their name, phone number, address were all in the phone book. And people get worried now about being able to find everything on the internet. That's nothing new. You could find about I found in a thrift store for my town, in my town, a phone book from, what year was it? Like 1987. And it was hard covered, for one thing. And it told where, like, I looked up, like, my grandparents, let's say. It gave my grandparents, like, my grandfather's name, where he worked, and then my grandparents' home address and their phone number. And then below that, it said, like, my grandfather's wife. And if she worked or where she worked or if she was a stay-at-home mom or whatever. And then their kids. It listed their kids and where they went to school. I can't remember if it listed their ages, like at the time of that phone book being published, but it listed their school. So you can kind of deduce from what school they went to how old they were. Because I think like in 87, my dad was like 17. But his younger sister was like 12 or something. So it showed where my grandfather worked. So what if it was just a single mom with kids? So it would say the single mom, name, address, phone number, and where she works, and how many kids she has, and how old they are. So, like, that's a lot of stuff. And if somebody wanted to do something nefarious with that information, knowing that a single mom, worked at the hospital or whatever, and they would know where to find her kids during the day, and if anyone was going to be home at night or during the day, obviously she could have worked at night, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, like if it showed that both parents worked and then all kids were school age kids, no one's going to be in that house. Anyone could have like robbed that house. It could have been used for nefarious reasons for sure. But people think that nowadays is less safe. I do not agree with that. I do not agree that nowadays is less safe. For certain things, I will say. Are we going to make it? This is the end. This is how much I have. I don't know. Oh, wait, we're not. We are not going to make it. There is no way. Should I just stop now or should I at least try? I'm going to at least try and see how far I get. I'm going to have to rip it out anyways. Or keep going depending on how far away we are. Get it together, Megan. Get it together. I guess my dad said that they used to call that the Snoop book or the snooping book or something, or the nosy book or something like that. Because you could literally like just tell like where people lived, how many kids they had, where they worked, whatever. Like, it's crazy. It was really cool though. I found it at a thrift store and I bought it. It was for like $4. It's really interesting to go back and see like different businesses. Oops, there's the end. Like different businesses and like what the address was, and I have to think about what's there now. Or like all the different like bars in town. We did not get very far. We got a long ways to go. Well, I'm going to have to leave it there. I'm going to have to try this on and everything. So I'm going to quit streaming for tonight, but I'll be back and I'll have an update on the sweater and hopefully more projects to come. I am making some actual videos, like edited videos, or I'm going to be. Mostly about my Black Friday yarn purchases that I got, because I got some mystery yarns in my Black Friday stuff. So that'll be fun. So those will be actual videos and not lives. I'm trying all aspects of this whole YouTube thing. I like lives the best because that's usually what I watch. And I have a day job, so I can't go live during the day when normal people are watching, but I'm trying all aspects of it. I've made a couple of shorts, so go check those out. And please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to make videos. I'm trying to make shorts. I'm trying to still go live and everything. I think this could be really fun. I'm hoping to make some tutorial videos eventually. Now is just a really busy time because of the holiday, but we'll get there. We'll get there, I promise, and especially with your help. So please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, because I'm so funny and hilarious. They'll love it. That is going to be all tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.